From the Hanging with Web Show TV's Bargain Basement Studio in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, it's Pillow Talk with Willow Schuyler.
Will you take me to Winnipeg?
I will, someday. Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, Winnipeg.
Now what's this guy doing up here in Manitoba?
He was holding the map up.
Every salvage mission that's been through this system has disappeared. Even those old pirates out at Winnipeg Drift say it's cursed.
Cursed. Winnipeg's got a great ballet. You'll have a good time, I swear to God.
Sweet guinea pig of Winnipeg! They've taken over our company!
Balderdash! I never agreed to that!
I should have stayed in Winnipeg, you know? I had a nice gallery, 3 paintings on the wall.
Are you kidding? And you look back. Born home, Quebec. Drafted out of the juniors in the 5th round to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Played for a year with the Leafs, then traded to the Winnipeg Jets, then to Calgary, then to Boston.
Wow.
So Winnipeg must get pretty cold up there.
That's it! Back to Winnipeg!
Hey folks, welcome to Willow's Pillow Talk. I am Willow Schuyler. With me today is Conrad and McKenna. They filmed a Harry Potter fan film, and I am excited to talk more about this. And that's pretty much the only thing of Harry Potter that I own right now. But yes,
oh, I love it. Awesome.
So I haven't delved too in depth into the whole Harry Potter fandom, but all I know is I am a Hufflepuff.
You're a Hufflepuff. That's cool.
Rocking the yellow.
There you go.
Have you guys taken any of the tests to find out what house you guys belong to?
Yeah, McKenna.
I'm also a Hufflepuff.
Excellent.
Yes, she's been a Hufflepuff from the beginning. I am. Well, I always thought I was a Ravenclaw, but turns out I'm a Slytherin. So I am full on Slytherin.
Okay. So how does do you guys feel like it actually helps make you realize that your personalities do match up with the house?
Honestly, I think that our houses match our personalities. But you know what's also interesting is that they say that the Slytherins and Hufflepuffs get along really well. That's something
really?
I've been reading a lot about. So that's why McKenna and I get really, we get along.
Yeah.
So more so than with the Gryffindors and the Ravenclaws of the crew and the cast. So it's been great.
So I'm just curious. Like I don't feel like Slytherin is as evil as they make it out to be. But maybe
we get a bad rep all the time. I don't know why they think that we're evil. There's a lot of good Slytherins out there. People just have to really read and look into the movies. Like, for example, Professor Slughorn in Half-Blood Prince, he was a Slytherin, and no one talks about that. He was great, one of my favorites. So, yeah.
Okay. And do you guys have any of the memorabilia from the films or the books?
Really not. I used to have Hermione's wand.
Okay.
But I don't know. I might still have it. I don't know.
I have the Elder Wand. Do I have it here somewhere? No. Yeah, I thought I saw it. No, I have the Elder Wand, which is Dumbledore's wand, which is like the most powerful wand in the world. I also have the Snitch. I also have a lot of little Funko Pop like toy things.
Yeah.
Actually, you gave me the Pez.
Pez.
Yeah, she gave me the Pez. Ron, Harry, and Hermione, which I love. I'm obsessed.
Me and my husband are big into the Lego series, and he loves his Batman and Star Wars stuff. Every time I go into the Lego store, I have to hold myself back from buying the castle.
You have to buy it. You have to buy the castle. You have to do it. That's awesome.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things that. The world of Harry Potter is so huge, and I haven't really gotten into reading the books yet because I'm still, I don't know. I don't know what's holding me back from reading the books, but I love the movies. How about you guys? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Have you guys read any of the books?
Oh yeah, I read them all, mostly when I was younger. But yeah, they're definitely, I think they're worth it because they go so much more in depth. And there's a lot more to the characters in the books than you see in the movies.
I feel like you get to spend more time with the characters when you're reading the books, and you just get a lot more into it. With the movies, you get an incredible experience, but it's instant. But with the books, it just kind of lingers on, you know, for as long as it takes you to read the entire series. So I think they're both wonderful in their own ways.
Yeah. So what got you guys into making this film?
Well, we had just finished doing a couple other short films over the summer. And then for whatever reason, I always wanted to do a Harry Potter movie since I was like very young. And I thought it would be like the perfect time to do it now. I just felt that it was the right thing to do. So then I texted McKenna and I'm like, McKenna, you know, do you want to do this Harry Potter movie? You'd play the lead. It'd be about a witch from England that goes to America, and she'd be on the run from these Death Eaters. And that's how this whole craziness started. And ever since then, it's just been catapulting into a much, much bigger project. And here we are.
So without giving away too much information about the movie as it goes along, but are we going to see more creatures of from the Harry Potter series?
Well, that's TBA. As far as creatures, I don't quite know just yet. I know that there's no creatures in part 2, but you never know what could happen in part 3. Part 2 is already written, and we just started production on part 2. Okay. But there's going to be a lot of, I'll say this, there will be familiar characters that are going to commit to the later chapters.
Excellent. Yeah. I look forward to that. Yeah. You guys did such a fabulous job on the whole production of this. Terry McIver, who got me connected with you guys. It's one of the best fan films that I've watched this year, and it's so far. And you know, and you guys like these fan films are becoming more and more theatrical and I'm excited to see where you delving more into the Harry Potter fandom with you guys, and I'm excited for this.
Thank you. It's a labor of love, I'll tell you that. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time too, and patience, you know. So, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
So McKenna, have you always been wanting to be an actress?
Pretty much, yeah. Ever since I was like 10, I started off doing like theater acting, and then I did a film, and I just realized like I like it so much better. I feel like film, it's more personal, and it's less like fake theatrical, I guess, and I liked that a lot more.
Okay. And do your parents encourage you with this? Excellent. Yeah. That's what I like to hear. And I'm sure your teachers are excited to see where you go with this as well. As long as you keep your schoolwork up, right?
Right. Yeah, school's always been a priority for me, so it's been hard to balance, both of them. But
she was in the middle of exams, I think, when we were filming the climactic final battle. So we'd have a day off. She'd go to school and take her exams, the end of the year exams, and she'd come back on set at 7 a.m. and film battle sequences. So her schedule was insane.
Yeah.
I don't even know how she did it.
I have a question here. What's your geek cred outside of Harry Potter?
Geek cred. Oh, okay.
What is your fandom? What do you guys like?
Well,
do you guys?
What are you into?
I don't know.
I think mine's Harry Potter. Honestly, Harry Potter is my tribe. But if I had to pick another tribe, it would be Star Wars.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I've been flirting with the idea of maybe after Mudblood, after it's all done, to go into a galaxy far, far away, but you never know.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
That could be cool.
I'm a huge superhero fan, so if you guys ever delve into the superheroes, let me know.
Sure, yeah, that would be kind of cool.
More so Marvel than DC, but I as a costumer, I do both. So I do both sides. So
we love Marvel. It's great.
Speaking of costumes, like, did you guys plan out all the outfits beforehand, or is it just you guys?
I had an idea of what I wanted all of the characters to look like. So then I had like Pinterest boards made up for all the characters, and then it was just a matter of finding something that looked similar. And McKenna, tell them how we found the main character, your outfit for the movie.
Yeah, we looked at a bunch of different stores. We looked literally everywhere, and we couldn't find anything that worked. And then we went to like JCPenney, and he was looking in like the old lady section, and my mom and I were like totally making fun of him, and so we just like walked away. And then we came back, and he found this dress that was like on the mannequin, and it was like the only one left in my size. Yeah. And it was perfect.
Yeah, I was like, guys, this is the one. And it was literally, we had to get the employee to get it out of the mannequin so you could try it on.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's the one that you see in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys ever, thrift stores are amazing for costuming as well. So it's
we thrift stored, and her coat. That's where we found it. It's funny because we were gonna buy a different coat, and it was like $40 at a thrift store, and I was like, oh, that's so expensive. Like we kept looking, and then went to a different store, and the one coat that is in the movie, it was on sale at that other store for $2. So
wow!
We bought it for $2 that coat. So it was such a steal. It was great.
Nice.
It worked out.
Some of like the trinkets, like the wands and stuff like that. How did you guys acquire? Did you guys have to get them made, or?
Yeah. So I had 3 different wand makers. I ordered some that were slightly pre-made, and then there were some original ones as well. It was like a variation of different things. I knew from the start that I didn't want ones that were from the Harry Potter like world or Wizarding World, because those are too recognizable. Any actual Harry Potter fan could be like, oh no, that's Neville's one, that's Bellatrix's one. We give it away. The illusion would be broken of what we were trying to do. So I knew that I needed original and unique ones that hadn't been seen before, and people are loving it. Like I've seen comments like complimenting the wands, and I'm like, yes,
especially on
they are, yeah. Like with the Harry Potter movies, it's very hard to see like the detail, but with your film, I actually see like the red in the wands, like the wraparound, and it's good to like be able to pause a movie and look at some of the detail work and some of the stuff, and even with towards the end of your first film, the guy brings out like the stopwatch kind of thing, and that is amazing. Like that is like I like those little trinkets.
Yeah, no, we want it to be as truthful as possible to the world, and we know how much how detailed that universe is. So we're trying to not only establish that same world, but also introduce new things while still maintaining that high artistic level of quality. And, I think we're doing pretty good. I'm quite proud of how it came out.
And the detail work with some of the costumes for the Wizards is fantastic. Like I'm a huge fan when it comes to steampunk, and I love like the lapel, like the designs on the lapels, and you guys did an amazing job on it all. So I'm just hello, Ted. Good to see you. Terry, with even if you decide DC, you could end up doing a better movie. Yeah. See, that's just it. Like another fan film that I saw earlier, last year, was a Poison Ivy one. And again, like these fan films are becoming more and more it seems like the costuming work seems to be a lot better than a lot of the films that are coming out now too, and like the design of the film itself. You guys, like your production is just fantastic, and even the way you guys film it, like I don't know, like
yeah, we had a lot of technical wizards behind the scenes helping us out, so it was a real team effort. I mean, total credit to the entire team, because we knew that we were making a film basically on volunteer basis. and during COVID, so it made it even tougher, but everyone was committed, and we all knew that we wanted to make something special and together, and we knew that we wanted to tell this grand story. So we're just fascinated that everyone's reacting in such a positive way, and they're liking what we're putting out, because we've spent months and months and months like working on this, from screenplay to pre-production to production, and I had seen the film so many times, and I've seen all the footage, and it's weird to me that people are now seeing it, because it's been with me for like months now. And it's nice to see other people's reactions to it.
I'm a huge dork, so seeing stuff like this just makes me happy that other people are sharing in their craft and showing us nerds and being like, "Here, we made this for you." So thank you for bringing that out. What is it about the Harry Potter films and the books that intrigue you more than any other wizard, like say like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or like other witch fandom?
Well, do you want to answer that, McKenna?
To me, it feels like I love it so much because of the nostalgia. It feels so familiar, and like something about the magic and everything. It feels like it's like Hogwarts is like a second home, and I think that's what makes it so appealing to people, is they feel like they can put themselves in the universe.
Yeah, and that's it for me as well. I mean, I grew up with it, and McKenna grew up with it, and it just felt familiar. It felt like we were going into a universe that we've always known, and this time we were out to create something new within the universe. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I became a fan of, like, I watched all the Harry Potter movies, and I was like, okay, this is cool. But as soon as like the Fantastic Beasts came out, that's when my brain went, whoa, I must watch this. I must get more into knowing the details of this. Around what time frame was it that Harry Potter clicked in your mind?
When did it click for you?
I don't know.
I mean, for me, it was Sorcerer's Stone when I saw the first movie.
Okay.
That's when I knew that I loved it. Like, that's when I knew that it was going to be something that I would always like cherish and always look forward to. I mean, I always remember like staying up at midnight to go to the midnight releases at the time of whatever movie it was coming out, or the books. And I became obsessed. And I know, McKenna, it was a big part of your childhood as well, right? Yeah.
Like, I watched all the movies and I read all the books, and I was Hermione for Halloween like 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys go to conventions at all?
Not for Harry Potter, because we do like a lot of other movies as well, that we take to film festivals and stuff. But we do go to one in Lexington, Kentucky called Scarefest, which is a horror convention.
Oh, okay.
We love it. It's such a fun one. We haven't been there in a while because we haven't had a horror movie in a while, but yeah, that's as far as conventions go for us as a team.
Well, I think you guys would do really well in the convention scene, showing off your fan films, though.
Oh, that's a good idea. Think about that. That's cool. Yeah.
Get your name out there.
Yeah.
Terry, if you were to do a Marvel-inspired movie, we've got you. Yes, we do. Thomas Carter Rochester does an amazing Thor. So, yeah.
We love Thor. That's one of my favorite Marvel characters. I'm not fit for superhero work, but I do the odd cosplay. So Oh, nice. Who do you cosplay?
I do Rogue, Jean Grey. I'm a huge X-Men fan, so I do a lot of like the X-Men stuff. For DC, I've done Power Girl, Wonder Woman.
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Oh, that's a tricky one. Wow. You know what? I'm going to have to say The Avengers right now.
Yeah. The original or Endgame or?
No, that's the first one.
The first one, huh? Interesting. That was shot mostly in Cleveland, which is where we're at right now.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty cool.
I'm also a huge Resident Evil fan, so I dress up as Jill Valentine.
Sure, yeah.
From the original game.
Nice.
So her Stars team costume.
Yeah.
I love those video games. I'm a huge survival horror fan, so like Silent Hill, Resident Evil.
That's awesome.
Anything that creeps me out is fun.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I've actually never played Resident Evil, but I have a friend of mine who's obsessed with Resident Evil. That's all he plays is Resident Evil.
Oh,
he
man.
actually told me you should do a Resident Evil fan film, and I'm like, I don't know Resident Evil.
I would love it if you guys did that. Like, there's so much to touch on with that. Like, I mean, like when it comes to the monsters, it's a little tricky, but oh man,
it'd be fun. It'd be fun.
I could give you guys so many ideas. Any like what fan film do you guys want to work on?
Ooh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, it was always a Harry Potter fan film. Like, for me, it was always going to be Mudblood. So I said to myself, if I do one fan movie, which I never do, this is my first ever fan film. I don't do fan movies. We always do originals. And we do fairly well with our original movies. But I said, if I'm going to do a fan film, it's going to be a Harry Potter fan film. And I'm going to call it Mudblood. And it's going to be like this female-empowered story in America. And here we are. I mean, I do think a superhero movie would be kind of cool. If not, also a Star Wars fan film. But I know there's hundreds of Star Wars fan films, so that's kind of why I don't want to do one. But yeah, I don't know.
I think just keep doing it. Like, it gives you guys good practice and gets your name out there with the production companies. And I'm sure, like, one of these days, I see it. One of these days, you guys are gonna hit it big, and Hollywood's gonna come knocking. And
that would be awesome. That's the dream, isn't it? That's what we're waiting on. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and share your trailer.
All right.
Whoop. But no, like I'm sorry. I'm again geeking out over the production.
Thank you.
Yeah, audio is off. It happens.
It does happen. They can see the visuals.
I don't know. It's just I become a huge fangirl when it comes to interviewing people who do this kind of stuff. So you guys definitely have a huge fan.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, and part 2 is going to be bigger and better.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm definitely going to share it as soon as you guys drop it. So it's
thank you.
And I'm sure we got a couple of fanboys in the audience here too. So Harry Potter has become like huge with everybody. If you guys get a chance to travel, would you travel to England and see all the sets? And
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about going to England, haven't we, McKenna?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we would love it. We know, and there's a lot of like fans of the films that have seen our movie or have seen the trailer, and they're like, "Are you guys ever going to film in England? Are you guys coming to Europe?" And I wish I could say, "Yeah, we're going to go to Europe." I mean, that's why I said it in America, because we can't afford to go to Europe with our budget or whatever. But we would love it to, just to see the sets or to see where it was originally filmed, or to even film in England would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, you guys have a chance to kind of expand the American version of Hogwarts, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do with this, and taking the world a little bit further from what Fantastic Beasts have been doing, so what are you guys going to try to include more of the Americanized version of the Harry Potter world?
That's how do I word this one, because that could be a spoiler. But I will say Ilvermorny becomes more involved in the next chapters. That's the first McKenna's hearing of it too, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's fun.
Let's keep the secrets to a minimum to whoever's watching. Everyone's watching the show. Let's keep it between ourselves.
And you guys filmed this all in New York, right? Or
we filmed it in Cleveland, but it's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of the buildings, if people are really critical, if they really pause the movie, they'll see that some of the buildings say "State of New York" or things like that, because we wanted to set it in upstate New York. But we shot it in Northeast Ohio. We shot it in Cleveland and in parts of Akron.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's funny. Like where I'm from, Winnipeg, obviously. A lot of people come up here to film like scenes of Chicago, because we're known as the Chicago of the North, and a lot of our older buildings are kind of reminiscent of Chicago. Right. And so it's funny how every so often we'll have there will be like period pieces coming up here to film, and
that's the movie magic, And a lot of people from upstate New York have been commenting like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we filmed here. Like, how do I audition?" I'm like, "Oh, well, we didn't film there." But yeah, it's always fun.
I love looking at old buildings and like the architecture. So it's great to be able to point out some of the older buildings and like the artwork. Sure, yeah. So you guys did a great job though, like masking.
Yeah, we did a lot. In our visual effects department, led by James Naiman, props to him, because he worked really hard to make everything seem believable, whether it's like mountains in the background or changing building names and things like that.
Did you guys do a lot of green screen work for this?
No.
No,
we didn't do greens. We did set extensions, but it's funny because like my visual effects supervisor yelled at me for not doing green screen work, because it made his work a lot harder.
No.
He was like, "You should have done green screen." Instead, we just did set extensions. So we would have the actors like in place, and then in the background we would extend something or make something look bigger, or we would add certain elements. Like for instance, in the beginning, like there was a thermostat in the house that we needed to get out of the shot. So my visual effects producer had to literally manually get the thermostat out and put a painting over it, like a portrait.
Oh.
And
okay.
it's invisible CGI that no one would ever be able to tell if that was CGI, but it's CGI. So
great job though. Like that's what I love about the whole production of your film is like you guys have a scene where you're battling it out in an older home. Is that an actual friend's house, or is that just, did you have to get permission to film there?
We rented it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So it is actually a house that it's like they have it for rent, and they want to get it in movies and stuff.
Yeah. So it was listed on the Cleveland Film Commission website, and the location scout of the Cleveland Film Commission introduced me to the homeowner. And also that house is also an Airbnb. So they do, we people can access it and everything. So I, talked to the homeowners, which is the George Whitney house, I believe it's called in Berea, Ohio, and he was very welcoming. He said, you know, we love the project. It sounds great. And he just trusted us to come in and do crazy things, you know, in his house. And obviously there's a lot of CGI in those sequences, you know, but no, it was great fun. And it was a very huge house. We only saw a fraction of the house.
Yeah,
in
the
the
house
movie.
is huge and
It's massive.
beautiful. And we saw like, what, like 5-10% of it?
Literally, like barely anything of it. Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
But it fits so well with the story and the feel of Harry Potter. It's fantastic. Like, I don't know, just something about character homes from the 1800s just is so beautiful. The original woodwork is just stunning.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect for sure. And I looked at so many houses. I looked at so many, and that was the last house that I was going to look at, and it ended up working out. So, yeah, we got lucky.
You guys are inspiring me to do more. I love doing photo shoots, and I want, if I have the money, I would love to like rent an old home and do photo shoots, and just the. It's great to being able to interview other creative, because it gets the cogs going.
It's the creative sparks. Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely.
So yeah, like because we're still somewhat in the middle of a pandemic, has your filming been affected at all, or have you guys pushed more onward for it?
Yeah, it's been harder. Definitely. A lot of regulations on set and stuff.
Yeah, everyone wearing masks, temperatures being checked every couple hours. I mean, trying to keep like extras separated from the crew and like in one area. I mean, it makes things slightly slower as well.
Yeah.
But I think once you start to get the rhythm of how the pace of the filming is going to go. But yeah, it's a lot more difficult to kind of organize, and in Ohio there's like a curfew as well, so you know a curfew for like 10 p.m. So it was interesting trying to like map things around all those elements. But thankfully it worked out for part 1, and we're hoping it works out for part 2 as well.
I'm really hoping that it doesn't mess you guys up too much, but you know, it's looking like a lot of stuff has been lifted as far as requirements and stuff like that. So even in my own city, like we're finally starting to open up our restaurants again, which is nice too.
That's great. That's a good step.
It'll be weird. It'll be like everybody's opening up their doors and like peeking out.
That's funny. Yeah, no, for sure.
But I can't imagine what it's like for like production companies going through this, and are you guys looking forward to like being able to go back to work like full on production in the coming year? Yeah.
It's interesting because like I've been trying to write with as little extras as possible, and it's always limiting because a lot of the things I write in my other movies have grand scales and everything, and there's always extras and big sequences, and this one I'm like trying to tone it down. Like, okay, we don't have that many extras because it's a pandemic. It's funny because like we still had a lot of extras for part 1 in the pub scene. And there is one big sequence in part 2 that also requires a lot of extras. And that might actually be one of the most memorable sequences in the whole series is the one in part 2.
It's one of my favorites.
It's McKenna's favorite scene in like the whole series, I think.
Yeah.
And it's one that people that are fans of Harry Potter, I think they're going to freak out when they see this scene.
They're going to love it.
Yeah.
So speaking of the pub scene, like the butterbeer, like did you guys have to like create your own version of it, or did you actually look it up and try to make it your own?
Well, we had DJ, our producer, was in charge of it, and she actually did recreate the butterbeer. I never got to taste it though.
Oh, it was good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So it was supposed to be like the same kind of butterbeer as they serve in the Wizarding World in like Florida and Los Angeles, and yeah, I was very jealous because I wanted to try it, and everyone kept getting butterbeer. Like everyone else kept getting butterbeer, and I'm just like, guys, I'm directing, and I didn't get a single butterbeer. But yeah, it was the same recipe, so yeah.
Okay.
It was cool.
I work for Starbucks, and that's one of the things that pops up every so often with like the secret menu. It's like, I want a butterbeer, so we have to kind of modify the drink to make it somewhat taste like butterbeer, but it's like a lot of times it's like we don't have the right ingredients, so I'm just like, okay, we're gonna do this, and so it's an experiment. And then Terry has a question: how do you audition for a fan film? That's a very good question.
Well, yeah, we have open auditions usually for our different characters. We're going to have open auditions for characters in part 2 and part 3. Part 3 has a lot more characters than part 2, I will say. But yeah, every actor in the film besides McKenna auditioned. McKenna, she was like the first person I texted, so I'm like, what? You know, I knew she was going to be the main character right off the bat. Now she has a lifelong contract with me to know about. But yeah, no, everyone auditioned and everyone did. You know, it's funny because like a lot of the people that are in the movie have worked with me before, but the roles are so specific that they still had to audition. But yeah, we had actually hundreds of people audition for part 1. And, and actually Maggie, who plays Kendra, like the evil witch that keeps torturing everyone, she had a hell of an audition. We couldn't find a Kendra. We had lots of people audition. And she was like one of the last people we cast, and we're very fortunate that we found her. And yeah, I mean, everyone had an incredible audition. And Angela, who plays Emmeline, had a terrifying audition. Oh yeah! My goodness, I was literally immediately scared. So yeah, no, it was fun.
So each one left their mark on you in some way.
Yeah, definitely.
And Terry also had a follow-up question. Have you worked with any of your cast before?
Yes, I've worked with McKenna before in a couple of short films. I work with Angela, who plays Emmeline, in a couple of feature films. One's called Fighting the Sky, which people can watch on Amazon Prime, which is an alien invasion movie. And then I also work with Angela on a film called Stars and Storms, which we're in post-production on. It's a feature film. And yeah, and then, you know, with the other cast members, there's a lot of new faces that I've never worked with. In fact, a lot of the cast members I've never worked with. I'd say like maybe 50% I've never worked with. So it was good. They had great auditions, and I love working with them, and can't wait to work with them again in parts 2 and 3. Okay,
and there's also, and will you work with them again for future projects? That's to be announced, right?
Yeah. Well, McKenna's got the contract, but yeah, everyone else, yeah, for sure, would love to work with everyone again.
So like, I know we talked a little bit about ideas for fan films, but will you guys? How long do you guys plan on doing this? Doing the Harry Potter thing?
Well, we have 2 more parts for Mudblood, which we have started production on part 2, and we're hoping to start production immediately on part 3 right after, so we can just kind of, you know, because people are getting impatient. We didn't realize how explosive the response was going to be, that we should have been a little more prepared. We have already filmed some of part 2, I will say.
Okay.
And yeah, we're hoping to finish. My goal is to have all 3 parts finished before May. So between March and April to release the other 2 parts. And we'll see how, you know, people react at the end of the whole journey. And if they want more fan films or, you know, or whatever it is, then I'm not opposed to it.
Excellent. So is this how you guys keep your ideas fresh and like just, you know, keep bouncing ideas off each other, seeing what works and what doesn't? And
yeah, we have so many movie ideas that we want to do. Like someday I'll call McKenna. I'll be like, McKenna, we're doing a Western. He's like, okay, you know. Next day I'll call her and I'll be like, okay, we're doing, you know, like a Harry Potter movie. Okay, she just goes along with it. And I ask McKenna all the time, like, okay, what are we gonna do next? Like today, you know, I was asking her like, what's the next project after Mudblood? And you know, we like to keep things fresh and different every single time, and you know, to give people something new.
Your music that you chose, is that all free play music, or do you know people who actually do scoring?
Yeah, we had a composer for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Tyler Wilkins, or TJ Wilkins as he's credited. incredible composer. I worked with him several times on different feature films.
And his stuff is on iTunes now.
Yeah, the score is on iTunes and Spotify. It's available for people to listen to. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
It's so fantastic.
Yeah, I always push the limits with Tyler. I'm like, give me more. I want more epic, every single time. And he knows that I have extremely high standards. So he kicks it into high gear for me. And he scored the whole movie, and I think it's one of my favorite parts of the whole film is the musical score. That's the one thing.
The first song is so good.
Yeah, it's the one thing that exceeded my expectations. I was like, this soundtrack just blows my mind. So
have you guys
part two?
Have you guys worked with other musicians in other movies, or?
Yeah, we've worked with several other ones. And Tyler's he's my go-to guy. Okay. So I would consider him like my composer, if that makes any sense. Like he's the guy that I would, if I have a feature film or like a major project, that's Tyler's the person I would go to. But yeah, no, we love collaborating with other artists as well. Always open as well.
Okay. Just wow, like the whole movie. I'm still in shock that you guys did this. How long did it take you guys to film?
We filmed it in 10 days total over the course of like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, we prepped for months, but the actual shooting was 10 days for part one. And it was really spread out throughout many, many different days. And we had like a Christmas break in between. So we filmed in December, and then we had Christmas break, and then we had to get back into it after Christmas. So in fact, we had like a whole battle scene. And then we had to like wait like 2.5 weeks and then come back to the battle scene and hope that everything looked kind of similar, like weather and the sun and everything, the clouds. And it all matched up pretty well, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And when you go back to school, McKenna, do you share this with your classmates?
I've showed it to a couple of my friends, yeah, and a lot of people have been coming up to me at school and saying that they like have seen our TikToks about it.
Yeah, they've seen TikTok, they've seen the promos, because for whatever reason, like I had all these wonderful like trailers and ads ready to go for the movie to hype up the film, and then I just made one TikTok completely randomly because I don't use TikTok, and I made a random TikTok for my 400 followers, right? And then I put it out there, and I don't think about it again. And I come back maybe like 4 or 5 hours later, and I keep getting notifications from TikTok. I'm like, what is going on TikTok? And I forgot that I made a video. So I log back in, and I see that it has 150,000 views. That TikTok promoting the movie. And I'm like, what happened? Next thing you know, we're at over 4 million now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we have over 4 million people, and now, got like over 90,000 followers following really the project. They're following me, but it's really just the project that they're following. So it's really exciting.
So as a filmmaker, do you recommend getting TikTok?
Honestly, yes, I do, because it's such a great marketing tool. I mean, it's people come and they're like, I came from TikTok, or who's here from TikTok? And it's like all these people who are on TikTok who are obsessed with Harry Potter are coming in, they're flocking to see the movie. And that's something that I never expected. I always thought, okay, maybe our audience is in Instagram and Facebook, because those are the ones that I hit hard. Like we marketed those hard. And we marketed once on TikTok, and it was this explosion.
Oh, wow.
So I certainly would recommend it. I mean, I wouldn't have recommended it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, you asked me this, I would have been like, that's a waste of time. And now I'm like, well, never mind. You can find your niche on TikTok, and they're going to come and support you. So it's great.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like I've been using Twitch more for just watching game streamers and supporting my friends with their stuff. Right. And ever since I started doing this podcasting stuff, I've been using Twitch more and more. But I'm kind of like, social media to me has always been kind of foreign.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I'm even on Facebook, I remember being in broadcasting school and being like, no, I'm not going to, I was on, I had to get people to force me to download Facebook because, that's where all my friends were starting to. And I'm just like, no, I'm happy where I'm at, But, now.
It can be a great tool. You know,
it's incredible. Like, have you always been a social media person, or?
I have. How about you, McKenna?
Yeah.
And even some of the crew members for the film, I've never met in person. For instance, Tyler, the composer, I've never met him in person. I think I met him on Facebook. Marcus, our sound designer, never met him in person. He's from Montana. He sound mixed the whole thing in Montana. Never actually met him. So I'm meeting all these people, on social media. We're creating this incredible online team, I guess. That even though we've been working together for a long time, but it feels like family still, like long distance family. So.
Oh, my buddy Mark, he has his own show. He'll be on after me. But what did I miss? You missed a whole movie, bud. I'll send you the link. I'm looking forward to seeing more from you guys, and the costumes, the production, the whole shebang. Any chance that the music will be available on CD anytime soon, or download?
I don't know about CD. That's a good question. I know that it's available on iTunes and on Spotify. So if you have those, it's available there. But I don't know. And I think a Bandcamp, I think he said. But I don't know about CDs. That's a good question. So I'll have to find that out.
I'm still old media people. I still like.
Of course. I wish it was on vinyl, to be honest with you.
Downloading music still is a little iffy on me.
Of course, yeah. No, definitely.
You know what, you guys are fantastic. I definitely want to hang out with you guys again when your next film comes out, and talk about it. So I apologize. I wish I had more stuff to talk about, but you guys are fantastic. I'm glad that you guys stopped in. Where can we find you on social media?
Oh, you can look us up.
Yeah, you can.
Instagram and
we're on Instagram, Facebook. The YouTube is Conrad Studios. So if people want to watch the film, they can look up Mudblood Film on YouTube, or they can go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Conrad Studios. Or if they want to find the film, it's at Mudblood Film for pretty much everything. So add Mudblood Film for Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, that's how they can get in touch with us.
Excellent. Thank you so very much for hanging out here today. I'll definitely keep my eye open for the next film, and I'll definitely invite you guys back to talk about it. You guys can find me all over social media.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you for having us.
No problem. This was fun. I try to do this show. I'm trying to do this show every Sunday now.
Nice. That's good. We'll be watching for the next episodes.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. So I'm on Facebook. You can find my show on Skylar Productions. I'm also, oops, that's the wrong. Still trying to figure out this. You can find me also on the Hanging with Web team. Hanging with Web Show, Web TV, Facebook, and Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. I'm also co-host of Reels and Heels. So we're on Saturday afternoon.
Nice.
Mark's show is Now What? That's coming up right in about 15 minutes time.
Nice.
8 p.m. Central.
There it is.
Cool. We'll chat soon.
We'll talk in part 2. We'll see you in
Absolutely.
part 2.
You guys have a great night.
You as
Thank
well.
you so very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.